The National Football League is a game of giants. It's filled with linemen weighing over 300 pounds, running backs with thighs that look like they can squat an SUV, and 6'4" wide receivers that can absolutely jump out of the gym. Yet some players still find a way to be absolutely elite in the NFL despite their lack of size and strength. This is how Xavier Worthy, the 5'11", 165-pound wide receiver out of Texas, became an NFL superstar. Xavier Worthy grew up in Fresno, California with his parents and 2 younger siblings. His family always supported him and helped motivate him to compete in sports throughout his childhood. Xavier's family could tell that he was a freak athlete early on in his life, and it became apparent to everyone once he started to get into cross country. I mean, in 5th grade, Worthy finished 2nd in his district championship cross country meet, which was his first year ever giving it a go. After that, Worthy only got faster and would continue to run track throughout his entire childhood. He would eventually join his high school track and field team and clocked a 10.55 second 100-yard dash in his sophomore year at Central East High School. And although Xavier was excelling at track, he wasn't seeing the same results on the football field. In his sophomore year, Worthy only caught 10 passes the entire season. This was partly due to the level of competition on his East Central High School team, where his teammate Jeremiah Hunter was the first option. Hunter was a 1,500-yard wide receiver and had a huge size advantage over Worthy. So going into his junior year, the Fresno native knew that he would need to work twice as hard as anyone else if he was going to stand out on his team. And that's exactly what he did. With 55 catches and 992 yards and an insane 16 touchdowns in his junior season, Worthy would eventually become a 4-star recruit and was ranked the 13th best wide receiver in the country by the time he graduated high school. And with that came a long list of D1 offers.
Who are the biggest names you have in your phone now?
Harbaugh, Saban, Coach Cristobal, Deion Sanders.
Surprisingly, he initially committed to Michigan and even moved to Michigan for a short while trying to enroll early. But after some difficulties with school admissions where the school rejected Worthy's eligibility, Worthy decided to ditch Ann Arbor and change his trajectory completely.
He's going to enroll early, as you mentioned, is a signee. And then, from what we've gathered is it was either a paperwork issue or a mistake on Michigan's end in terms of the numbers that didn't allow him to enroll early. And I think that obviously is disappointing when you were planning on, and he graduated high school early and was planning on coming to Ann Arbor, for the spring semester, being able to go through spring ball and things like that, something he was planning on for quite a while. And it just wasn't able to happen. So I think it kind of, either upset him enough to want to look around.
According to Worthy himself, he even said that wherever Steve Sarkisian was, that's where he wanted to go. And with that being said, he went to Texas. He joined the Longhorns as a freshman in 2021, and due to his speed and playmaking ability, was slotted in as a special teams player and returner. However, he was also preparing for a potential spot as a wide receiver, and as it turns out, he was already pretty damn good even against college players. As the season began, the Texas offense had little depth at the receiver position, as it was mostly focused on Bijan Robinson and the run game. Worthy did earn a spot as one of the Longhorns' primary receivers and quickly became a key target for quarterback Casey Thompson. And due to having that solid relationship too, was putting up numbers similar to his stats in high school. His freshman year produced 62 receptions for 981 yards and 12 touchdowns, numbers that are nearly unheard of for a first-year college wide receiver.
Thompson looking for Worthy. Worthy, end zone!
Thompson going deep into the end zone. What throw is caught.
They fake it to him and pitch it out to the perimeter. And that's Xavier Worthy. The talented freshman's off and running. It's a sprint. They won't catch Worthy. Texas touchdown on the opening play.
And look, once people did see what the 5'11", 165-pound wide receiver could do with all of that speed, all of those doubts of what Worthy could do were completely dismissed. For his efforts, Worthy was named a Big 12 Offensive Freshman of the Year and an AP Big 12 Newcomer of the Year, shattering the Texas freshman records for receptions, yards, and touchdowns in the process. I mean, it was an absolute spectacular start for the freshman, not just establishing himself as not only one of the team's top playmakers, but one of the most lethal weapons in the entire country. It was clear to everybody by now that this guy was special. Although his sophomore year numbers weren't as impressive as his freshman season numbers, they were still great, and Worthy continued to look like a future NFL NFL star. He caught 60 passes for 760 yards and 9 touchdowns in 13 games, and also served as the primary punt returner for the Longhorns. He even completed 1 pass for a 33-yard touchdown, showing off his Swiss Army-like skill set and proving he could be highly effective to any NFL coach who was considering to take a swing on him. But by now entering his 3rd season in the college game, Xavier was joined in the Texas wide receiver room by Adonai Mitchell, who was an exciting transfer from Georgia, having just won back-to-back national championships. There were question marks surrounding whether Mitchell would take over the #1 receiver role, given he was a much more prototypical receiver size at 6'2".
Xavier Worthy is John Ross 2.0. Did you have the comparison to John Ross 2.0 or something similar because of his size-speed combination, right?
And well, Worthy answered that question by producing his best effort yet in college. He hit career highs with 75 receptions for 1,014 receiving yards, and his output as a returner increased as well. He returned 22 punts for 371 yards, which was the 2nd best punt return average in program history. Xavier was named to the All Big 12 first team as a wide receiver and as an all-purpose player, and decided that it was finally time for him to bring his talents to the next level.
One day after the tough loss in the Sugar Bowl, wide receiver Xavier Worthy announced on Instagram that he too is leaving. He's going to the NFL draft. Obviously, going to get a lot of attention. Most NFL mock drafts have him going either first or 2nd round pick.
And although Xavier Worthy was able to dismiss all of those doubts people had of him because of the size of him, once the draft did come back around, many people started to bring up his size concerns again. Several analysts and scouts were quick to mention his strength as a potential issue coming into the league, but others thought his skill set was far too impressive to pass up.
I hate that this kid is getting a lot of flack. Now, I don't think he's a #1 wide receiver. I think he is a #2, possibly #3 in the National Football League. He's a gimmicky guy. He's a guy who is very effective on crossover routes.
And while at the combine, he proceeded to run the fastest 40-yard dash in history, clocking in a sensational 4.21 seconds, which didn't take long to go viral on social media.
Here it goes. Oh!
He was going to go for the record, and so he wasn't satisfied with the 4.25. So I said, "Are you doing it again?" He said, "Absolutely."
And I mean, what made him even more attractive to NFL franchises was his change of direction speed. Like, not only could he blow by any DB while running in a straight line, but Worthy maintains this speed throughout routes and is elite at creating separation, breaking away from defenders whenever he pleases. His rare skill set allows him to not only play as an outside receiver, but also in the slot. And while his speed will undoubtedly result in some deep ball touchdowns on the outside, Worthy's coach at Texas, Steve Sarkisian, made sure that NFL coaches were aware of his route running ability. Mix that with his ability to return punts and kicks, and NFL scouts were looking at one of the best do-it-all players in the 2024 draft. And I mean, look, the idea of Worthy in a smart offensive scheme was a very intriguing prospect, which is why it should come as no surprise that Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs pulled the trigger.
With the 28th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the back-to-back Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, select Xavier Worthy.
There it is. And it's only fitting that the 20th offensive player of this first round, breaking a record.
In order to get this done, they had to trade with one of their biggest rivals to get him, which suggests why Buffalo Bills will be watching Worthy's career with a deep sense of anxiety. I mean, what if he is the next Tyreek Hill and Buffalo handed him right to the Chiefs? This trade also came as a surprise too, because both teams were looking to fill voids in the same positional group. The Bills certainly needed help at the wide receiver position after their star wideout Stephon Diggs left for Houston, along with their second option wide receiver Gabe Davis, who also left the Bills this offseason. It was reported that the Bills didn't value Worthy as high as the Chiefs did and decided they could be pushed back into the second round to grab their guy, who we eventually found out was Florida State star Keon Coleman. So the Chiefs moved up and they got Worthy in the first round. And so far, he looks like the perfect fit for this team. As we all know, after the rough year in 2023, in which somehow they still managed to win the Super Bowl, the Chiefs appear to have a special offense once again. Of course, this is mainly because of their immensely talented quarterback Patrick Mahomes. The three-time Super Bowl champion just seems to have the ability to make absolutely anyone look like a superstar, and when you plug in a guy with speed like Worthy, it looks even better. Because of his record-breaking speed, fans and analysts were thrilled to see him paired with Mahomes, hoping they would get a new and improved version of Tyreek Hill, who left the Chiefs in 2022 to join the Dolphins. And well, in his NFL debut, Worthy's performance proved that those fans were absolutely right. I mean, look, straight up, Worthy looked as dangerous as any Chiefs fan could have imagined, and possibly could be the next Tyreek Hill. I mean, in the week 1 performance against the Ravens, he was responsible for 2 touchdowns, zooming through the Baltimore defense for a total of 68 yards. What's even more exciting about the performance was the different ways the Kansas City Chiefs coaching staff was using the rookie. His first touchdown was a fantastic end-around handoff from Patrick Mahomes, in which Worthy spotted a clear path thanks to some phenomenal blocks from his teammates. He had a lot of help on the play from the guys in front, but his burst made sure that a touchdown was all but guaranteed. His second touchdown came as a receiver on a play where the Ravens completely blew the coverage. It looked as if Marlon Humphrey had passed Worthy off to the safety, only for the safety to be absolutely nowhere found. I mean, it's hard to really praise Worthy for doing too much on that play, but I mean, it's still 6 points. I mean, after the game too, Mahomes spoke about the way that even when Worthy isn't receiving the ball, he still impacts their offense in a really positive way.
I mean, just having him out there, it just opens up stuff. I mean, you saw when he's out there, they're playing shell coverages. It's getting guys like Trav and it's getting guys like Rasheed open underneath.
And look, I mean, it's safe to say that after just 1 game in the league, that the presence of the Kansas City Chiefs having Xavier Worthy is the perfect fit. And I mean, it's just so much more than catching passes and getting open. With Hollywood Brown soon returning from injury, the Chiefs offense is going to have 3 to 4 explosive players on the field at all times, including guys like Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice. The talent in the wide receiver room should be overwhelming for defenses around the league, and they're going to pay a hefty price if they lose track of any of these players, especially guys like Worthy, the fastest man in the NFL. And I mean, if there's one thing that should terrify every team in the AFC, it's that what we just saw Worthy do to the Ravens defense was only the beginning. Game 1 was purely experimental, and you better believe that when Andy Reid and the Chiefs find out precisely what Xavier's role is going to be in this offense, he's going to get so much better. So much better that not only do I think Xavier is going to be the next Tyreek Hill, he's going to be better than Tyreek Hill. He already appears to have the magic touch, and you can imagine the damage this man is going to do once he starts getting a Tyreek Hill amount of touches. Not to mention too, Worthy showed out against a Ravens defense that ranked top 6 in passing yards allowed in 2023, one of the best in the entire league. I mean, can you imagine what he'll do to the teams who finish closer to the bottom? Not only that too, he's also highly reliable, and although he is small, he stays away from injuries and missing time on the field. Throughout 3 seasons at Texas, Xavier never missed a single game, including the postseason. And look, I mean, straight up, the best ability an athlete can have is availability, and the rookie's got it. As he continues to adapt and integrate into the Chiefs' dynamic offense, the potential for greatness seems boundless. If his first game is any indication, Worthy is poised to surpass expectations and redefine what a wide receiver can be in the modern NFL. With the explosive combination of his ball skills, speed, unwavering reliability, and an offensive mastermind like Andy Reid at the helm, Worthy isn't just a promising rookie, he's a future superstar in the making. The league should brace itself because Xavier Worthy is just getting started. But I want to know what you guys think. How good do you think Xavier Worthy is going to be? And honestly, how scary is he going to be inside of this offense that the Kansas City Chiefs have? Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Also, if you guys have not, we just hit 23,000 subscribers. We are going to be doing another giveaway very, very soon to celebrate that. Again, make sure you guys are commenting and subscribing. It lets me know to do more of these videos that you guys are enjoying. So if you guys have not, make sure you hit that red button down there. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one.